Hi guys, Magli here. It feels really strange being here and talking like this. I'm filming this for YouTube and I'm going to be talking about my depression journey. I haven't done a video like this since I think I was talking about my pregnancy journey back when I was pregnant, which so much has changed since then. And I won't lie, I filmed this a few times already because I keep getting just a little bit emotional and jumbling my words, and I want to talk about this because I don't feel like it's talked about enough. And I shared a video on Instagram recently, a video that I had filmed the day that I went to the GP and the GP prescribed me antidepressants. And I remember at the time feeling like it felt strange to film myself in such an emotional time, but at the same time, I knew that I needed to document it somehow. And I'm really grateful that I did, because not only am I able to share it with you guys and therefore, I guess, connect with any of you that are feeling like life isn't great, and let you know that you're not alone and we all go through phases like that, maybe not all of us. But I really do think that at some point in life, we really all will experience moments of darkness. And if I'm perfectly honest, I think I labeled my depression as postpartum depression, but I think I experienced symptoms of depression long before I became a mum and long before I had Isla. And going back to the video that I posted, I will say that I'm only comfortable posting that video now because I'm not in that place anymore. And I'm really grateful for all of the messages that I've received and the words of all of you that have said, you're so courageous and brave sharing your journey and your story. And thank you so much. I honestly can't tell you how much it means, but I really will say that the only reason I'm able to be so open and honest is because I don't feel like I am in that dark place anymore. And also, thank you to all of you who have shared your story with me. If you're someone that it's experiencing um, dark days, you really aren't alone. And I know that it feels like when we are in that headspace, it's just us and no one understands. But this is why I really want to talk about it a little bit more. And it's also why I started the podcast, Mumming with Magli, because I just couldn't believe that we weren't all talking about, fuck me, being a mum is hard. Like, why isn't it plastered over billboards everywhere? There's so much fucking shit being advertised to us. Why are we not being told that life isn't always easy? So, yes. Hi, I'm Magli. I have a 21-month-old little girl, and I have been on antidepressants for about 4 months. Like I said, I don't think that my depression was caused by Isla or by becoming a mum. I think I have always felt this sort of inadequacy in myself. I have never really felt like I belonged. I didn't know where my place was in the world. I didn't know what my sense of purpose was. And I just couldn't find myself, I guess, for lack of a better phrasing, as corny as that sounds. And I think becoming a mom really magnified all of those emotions, because I couldn't put in the time or the energy to work on myself, because obviously I was responsible for this baby that was here. And I felt angry. I felt really, really angry. I felt angry at the world for not telling me that life could be this hard. I felt angry at Isla for ruining me. I felt angry at George because he got to go to work. I resented him for it because he got to step out of what I felt was like a cage. I felt like I was in a prison. I couldn't breathe in my own house. I felt claustrophobic. It never got to the point where I thought about not living, but I questioned the point of life. I didn't understand. Why the fuck am I here? I'm not happy. Didn't feel happy in myself, in the life that I was living. I felt so stuck. And I knew that I wanted to unstuck myself, but I didn't know how. And I think I also felt angry at myself that as a yoga teacher, I should know what to do for myself in terms of mental and emotional well-being, but I just couldn't do it. I didn't want to do it. Almost I almost didn't want to take care of myself, even though that I did want to take care of myself and feel better, but I can't even explain it. There was just this wall in front of me and I couldn't seem to break it down. um I felt scared that life was going to be like this forever. I felt like a burden. I I was terrified. I was terrified that this was it and that I needed to accept that my life was just an unhappy life. To put it into perspective, I got pregnant during COVID, during the lockdown, and so I think we came back, like the world opened up again in the June or July, I can't quite remember, and I had Isla in the September. In the first few months, obviously newborn bubble, I enjoyed it, and dare I say, I think I thrived. And for me, I really started to spiral into a deep hole about 4 months after Isla was born. And then also to put it into like perspective, she's now 21 months and I've been on my medication, on my antidepressants for 4 months. So it really did take me a long time to accept that I needed more help and that I couldn't do it by myself. At first, I thought that potentially I just needed a little bit more time. And so we got a childminder for Isla 3 days a week. And I thought that would fix me, but it didn't fix me. I think also I romanticized the idea of being a mum, of, just going to a yoga class with my latte, pushing my pram around, and it just, oh my goodness, it's not like that at all. Felt like it was Groundhog Day over and over again. The worst day of my life. Just felt like it was repeating itself on and on and on and on. And I was in this cycle of knowing that my life was meant for more, but unsure of how to reach that point, and also barely having the energy to really connect to how I was feeling and really admit to myself that if I didn't take action, it probably would get worse. If I'm completely honest, I don't remember what the exact catalyst was in terms of me deciding to call the GP and reaching out for help. I I'm lucky that I have always been relatively comfortable sharing my feelings. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm quite a transparent person, and so I did speak to my mum, my sister, George. George, oh my gosh, we bickered a lot as well. And then I started to feel like embarrassed that maybe my relationship wasn't the best. And I felt ashamed to admit that we were, going through peaks and troughs as a couple, because obviously my mood swings and my depression was affecting me, but inevitably it was affecting him as well in our family. I had so much anger, and I think it was really difficult because I didn't know where to place that anger. So inevitably, I placed it on George and lashed out at him. And I do talk about this a lot on the podcast. That's why I started it. I just couldn't believe that we weren't more open about the ups and downs of not just motherhood, but if I'm honest, just life. Life is fucking hard. Like, oh, social media is just this hole of positive energy only. And don't get me wrong, I get that to a certain extent, because who wants to go on their phone and just see negativity all the time? But also, like, it's not realistic. Life can be really, really challenging. And I really want to hold space for people who feel like they are not in the best headspace and who feel like experiencing moments of true darkness, and let you know that it's okay. I am not a medical professional, but my yoga practice has definitely helped me through some dark days. And I think also I felt ashamed that as a yoga teacher, surely I should know what to do, right? Surely I should just get on my mat and breathe a little bit, hold a warrior, and then I will be healed. Fuck off. No. And I think that there's this pressure in the yoga world that if you just do yoga, you're enlightened automatically. And sometimes that's not the case, and that's okay. Sometimes a little bit of yoga or a jog or a bath or a good book is not enough to help us, to really help us out of those dark places, and that is okay. I decided to reach out to the GP. I think it got to a point I couldn't live like this anymore. I had found almost a bit of comfort in my depression. It had become an addiction because I felt such pressure in life to achieve and succeed and make something of myself. And the pressure was just unmanageable, on top of becoming a mum or being a mum and having to somehow be a role model. And yet I'm hating myself. My inner monologue was just a narrative of you're not worthy, you're not enough, you're lazy, you can't do this, you're not a good mum, you're a burden. I don't know what changed, if I'm honest. I don't remember the shift in me finally deciding that I didn't want, I couldn't, because where was this going to leave me, you know? So I decided to bite the bullet, call the GP, and I remember actually saying to them, they were like, oh, we've got no appointments today. And I was like, no, I've found the courage somehow to call you and to ask for help. You need to give me an appointment today. And I'm really grateful that they did. And my GP, to be fair to her, was absolutely amazing. And I wasn't pro medication. They had offered it to me in the past, and I had said no. And she was very gentle with me and said, okay, I'm going to give you this prescription. You don't even need to go to the pharmacy just yet. You can just go pick it up, maybe just have it in the house. But once I picked it up and it was at home, I thought, right, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. And I think as much as, you know, sometimes we talk about self-care and well-being and it's all a bit fluffy, just have a bath, just relax, just watch a good film. Sometimes you need to fucking dig fucking deep and give yourself a kick up the bum, because it's tough. Oh, it's a tough gig just being alive sometimes, at the risk of sounding really doom and gloom like it is. Anyway, so I took my first pill, and I remember I actually took a picture of myself and sent it to my friend who had encouraged me, to be fair to her as well, encouraged me to go see the GP. She obviously noticed the symptoms that I was experiencing, and sent her a picture of me with the pill on my tongue. And yeah, the GP had warned me that I probably would experience some side effects, and I did. I felt like my skin felt fuzzy. I experienced a bit of shaking, almost like at the beginning of an anxiety attack. I think also I felt anxious about taking the medication in the first place. So I'm not trying to say that I manifested these feelings, but I think also that played a part in all of the sensations, because I was like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen to me? Am I still going to be able to control my emotions? I know it sounds weird, but I was just feeling really anxious about being on the medication. Um, I'm happy to say that actually I feel great. I love my pills. Yeah, I'm on sertraline. They started me on 50 milligrams and I'm now on 100. After a month of 50 milligrams, I did a checkup with the GP and then she asked me, how do you feel? Do you feel like you can feel better? And I said, yeah, I think I'm not quite at my baseline. Although, again, if I'm perfectly honest, I don't know what my baseline is really. Um, I've always felt just inadequate, like I don't belong. And I think I'm starting to feel like I belong, like I'm worthy of this body on this earth, which is incredible because actually it's not something I think I have ever fully felt before. I think I've felt moments of it, but not, it hasn't been my baseline. There's always been an undercurrent of your shit, basically. So, yeah, if anything, actually, I'm grateful for this journey, I will say, because I think I felt a lot of shame, like I said at the beginning, as a yoga teacher and someone that encourages well-being and connecting to yourself and connecting to your feelings and moving through difficult patches through the practice of yoga and breath work. I think I felt shame at first that I couldn't navigate it myself, but actually I think that it's enabled me to really understand. And now I know that those two sides of the coin can coexist together. I don't need to be 100% happy in myself in order to hold space for people. If anything, I think it makes me a more understanding and compassionate teacher and person and human, because I really do know what it's like to feel like you're not worthy of getting out of bed, to feel like you fucked up in life, to wish that I could go back and make different decisions, to feel like I'm not worthy of being a mum, of having a supportive partner, of any sort of love or kindness that I receive. And if that's you, if you resonate with anything that I'm saying, firstly, I'm sorry that you're feeling like that. Um, but know that it doesn't have to be like that. It does take hard work and it's not comfortable and it's painful. And I have cried so much and had to really look at myself in the mirror and see things that I don't think I was willing to see. But I think it's actually helped me become the person that I want to become, rather than feeling like this person that I wanted to be was so far away and I didn't know how to reach her. This person that, in myself, I knew was worthy and could thrive and have a sense of purpose and sense of belonging and make a difference in the world. Um, but I just didn't know that I could or was worthy of anything good. Um, yeah, the light at the end of the tunnel really is so bright, and I know that the tunnel can feel unbelievably lonely and claustrophobic and unbearable and all consuming and debilitating, but you're not alone, and it's okay to be going through this time if you are going through a difficult patch. And difficult patch doesn't even scratch the surface, in my opinion, on trying to explain what these emotions and what it's like to live in that headspace, in that mindset. But it really does get better. Time heals, but time heals only if we do put in the work, unfortunately. And it's really hard and it's really difficult and it's not always comfortable. If anything, it's anything but comfortable. Fucking painful. But it really is worth it when we get to the other side, because I'm out of that. Not fully, peaks and troughs of life, but every day I just feel lighter, and I feel like I'm gonna be okay, and I feel like I might be able to thrive, not just as a mum, but as a human, as a partner, as a person on this earth, trying to figure out what the meaning of life is. I feel like I don't think I probably ever will figure out what the meaning of life is, but I think I will start to enjoy the journey of figuring it out, as fucking wanky as that sounds. I never felt like I was enjoying it before, and you would hear these quotes: it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Fuck off, the journey's fucking shit. And dare I say, I am enjoying the journey. So, yeah, I think that's it. I'm sending you lots of love. I am an open book. I am here if you have any questions, or you just want to share your story or talk or reach out. Um, Again, remember that I'm only able to talk about it now because I really am out of that dark place. I wasn't in a position to share quite how dark it was when I was in that headspace. I think even when I was talking to family or friends, I would sugarcoat it. But yeah, okay. I'm sending you so much love. Know that you are worthy of happiness, of love. You are enough, and you can do it. You really, really can. Maybe not by yourself, and that's okay. Sometimes we need a little bit of help, and it seems so unfair that others look like they have it together and they're thriving. I think it's made me a stronger person, and I know that it will make you a stronger person. Mwah. Have a wonderful day.